so good.
Lancaster!
Welcome, goodies.
That's you.
I'm Jason Mundock, and this is So Good Lancaster. This is part 2 of our 2-episode series covering the second Stuff to Do fair that went down right here in Lancaster City on January 31st at Washington Elementary.
What are you even talking about?
Think of it like a job fair, but instead of a bunch of companies sitting around talking about the jobs they have available, it's over 50 clubs, organizations, and businesses talking about all of the different kinds of events, hobbies, and activities that they do and that you can do with them. The fair is organized and hosted by Sav Thorpe Capizzi and State Representative Izzy Smith Wade-El. The idea came to Sav in late 2024. She was thinking about how important it is to get out of the house and off the phones, to try something new with other people, to build connections within the community. She knew she wasn't alone and that there were others in the community that could also benefit from learning more about all the stuff there is to do in Lancaster. So she started contacting people, pitched the idea of getting everyone together to share what was happening, and boom, the first Stuff to Do fair was born. That was last year. This year's fair grew twice the size of the first one. Over 500 Lancastrians showed up on a bitter cold Saturday morning to be with other humans and talk about stuff to do. We were there representing the Candy Factory with mic in hand, chatting with only a fraction of those organizations that were there. Today on the program, it's part 2 of our Stuff to Do Fair 2026 coverage with more interviews from the fair floor. Be sure to check out our previous episode for more, including a chat with fair organizer Sav Thorpe Capizzi. So Good Lancaster is powered by the Candy Factory, also known as TCF, a co-working and social club in downtown Lancaster, Pennsylvania. ClubTCF.com.
Check it out.
It's time. This is So Good.
So good.
So Good Lancaster.
My name is Jasmine Pantoja. I am the owner of Mambo Jazz Studio and the director and choreographer of Mambo Jazz Dance Company.
I love it. I love that you're Jasmine.
Yes.
Do you get that all the time?
Yeah, Mambo Jazz was actually, it's the name of a Mambo dance step. And then, of course, because my name is Jasmine, they started calling me Mambo Jazz as a nickname since I was a kid. And so, yeah, Mambo Jazz is just my nickname. And then it became my business name.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about Mambo Jazz Studio.
Mambo Jazz Studio, man, we are a proud woman-owned business. I co-own it with my 23-year-old daughter, and we offer an array of dance and fitness classes for adults, all different levels. It's definitely friendly, to beginners, and we kind of made a place because when you take dance, I think as a kid, once you're at a certain level and you're done, it's kind of, you don't go pro or go to college for dance. It's kind of like there's really nowhere to go. And so we're kind of the home for that, for people who have either always wanted to dance and never have, or used to dance and want to get back into it. And so, yeah, we have, fitness classes like bar and Pilates and yoga and all the things that kind of help build your core and your muscle that you need for dance. And then we offer dance classes like ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop, salsa, bachata, like all different kinds. So it's really nice.
Where are you located?
We are located right across from the Central Market. We are upstairs from Dipco, right on the second floor in the same building as them. Mm-hmm.
And did you dance as a kid? Like, is this a lifelong passion?
This is a lifelong passion. I actually started dancing at the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club in the Bronx in New York. That's where I'm from. And that's exactly where J-Lo started. So, yeah, J-Lo started taking classes and things like that at the Boys and Girls Club. So, yeah, proud of it.
And what's it like being in business with your child?
It is amazing. Yeah, because I think growing up, I always thought that this was just a long dream that would never happen. And I moved down here and I started dancing kind of on my own, performing here and there. And these opportunities just came. And I said, yeah, you know what? Why not start a business at 45? Let's do it. So
Absolutely.
Here we are.
Can you tell me something that you think makes Lancaster so good?
I think the diversity makes it so good. I think the fact that it's like this, it's almost like another world, especially like downtown. Like you go downtown and it's just, there's so many different businesses, so many different cultures. The food is amazing. The arts are amazing. It's like you could literally do anything out here. I don't think people realize how much there is to do out here, which is why something like this fair just makes sense, to just see all the different things that you could do here.
It's not just the stuff to do, but it's a fair that you can do
Yeah.
to learn about the stuff to do.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. Love it. And I told Sav, I said, just the fact that this was a thought and a dream of yours, and look at how big and amazing and beautiful it looks. Like, it's just great to see our community come together. I love it.
Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with me about Mambo Jazz Studio. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Luke Carpathios. I am a organizer for Susquehanna Trekkers, local hiking and outdoor adventure club.
All right, so tell me more about Susquehanna. Pretend I've never heard of you before.
Sure. Yeah. So we founded this club kind of as a way to get people outside, regardless of the temperature outside or the weather, and to just kind of appreciate the outdoors that exist in Lancaster County. We have a ton of beautiful trails, a ton of beautiful people that are maintaining those trails and doing what they can to conserve the area and also promote, just the beautiful wildlife that we have here.
About how long has it been around?
We actually just founded in this past August, so fairly new. And we're still definitely establishing the community, but everyone that has showed up so far for us has been phenomenal.
So let's just say I'm into hiking. I moved to the area. I don't know anybody. I find out about you guys. What can I expect? What's the experience I can expect if I engage?
Yeah. So we definitely ask you for a lot of feedback because we don't plan on just hiking forever. We anticipate doing some water sports, any kind of outdoor activity, really, even snowshoeing. I think this is maybe the only year that we could probably snowshoe in the past few. So the plan is to try and keep the cost low for people to get into a beautiful activity that has brought me so much happiness.
Are you guys organizing group hikes?
For now, it's been mainly that. We have done some social events in the past as well, but right now we're running a series over the winter to try and get people out there that's a little more low barrier to entry, doesn't require a lot of gear out of you. We just hike from Chickies Rock Park and go down into Marietta, grab a beer, and hike back casually, socially.
Sounds like I don't have to be an experienced, lifelong hiker to engage. Is that right?
Absolutely not. Definitely want to have people be afforded the opportunity to do those more difficult hikes. The most difficult one we've done recently is we've gone to Ricketts Glen, and that was a great time, but definitely a challenge.
Are you from the area?
I am, yeah. Born and raised in Lancaster. Went living out by Chickies Rock now, so it's nice to be around the nature. It's pretty low effort for me to get out to our events sometimes, so that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell me one thing that you think makes Lancaster so good?
Oh, it's the people, for sure, 100%. I think the people in this city are just there for each other. The community is fantastic. There's a ton of other booths out here, people trying to give people things to do, and that's just so special.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with me about Susquehanna Trekkers.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
My name is Shannon, and I'm with Closing Time Collective.
So tell me about the organization. Tell me about Closing Time. If pretend I just moved to Lancaster, I'm sniffing around and I come across this thing, it's like, what's that?
So Max and I decided to start this in 2022. We've both been booking shows for a really long time. Like, I've been booking on and off since 2004. He's a little bit younger than me, so not quite as long. But we happened to be at Fest, which is a music festival in Gainesville, together. And we were just talking about how we love that community aspect of it and how there is a lot going on in Lancaster. And we wanted to help coordinate that a little bit better between different DIY venues and the smaller venues. So I think Phantom Power, Zotropolis, the Upside used to be a big one we worked with. But all the DIY venues and any venue that wants to work with us. So live music, coordinating it, trying to keep it all so that people aren't booking over each other, etc.
Why is it important that a scene has DIY venues? And to define that, we're talking venues that aren't necessarily like a business dedicated to live music or to being a venue, but they're doing it for the love of it. Why is that important?
I think it's important because, that's where Max and I started, where he started doing shows in his parents' basement when he was 15. And sometimes when you're a younger age, you can't get into a show. So one of my favorite musicians is playing and it's 21 plus and I can't go see them. And I used to run into that at the Chameleon. And then I found the Knights of Columbus basement in Lebanon and fire halls, and I could go experience some high school bands or bigger bands, like regional acts that were playing to a diverse audience that maybe couldn't access a larger venue, or you can't get out of the city to get to Phantom Power or go to Philly or wherever else. So it's really important that both high school, college, adult, starting out indie acts have a place to play because they can't get into everywhere and attendees can't get into everywhere.
So what's the barrier of entry for these shows? Like, how accessible are these shows for folks?
I mean, pretty accessible. We try not to charge more than $10 for a show. Occasionally, like I have something coming up in the spring, which hasn't fully been announced yet, so I'm not going to say what it is.
Sure.
But that is a pre-sale ticket situation. It's $15 in advance, $20 at the door, but we always do no one turned away for lack of funds. Like if someone, and we've had it happen, if someone comes up and they say they don't have enough or they only have $5, we're not going to tell you can't get in. So
that's awesome.
It's always all ages and always going to be you can get in. So
love it.
Yeah.
Love what you're doing. Can you tell me one thing that you think makes Lancaster so good?
Lancaster really is a weird little melting pot. And we have a lot of transplants, and I think that everyone here really cares about the community and the art scene, and to a lesser extent the music scene, but they care. And I love that Lancaster is so accessible from other places. Like we have people come out from Philly because they can take the train, or it's just a quick jaunt from Harrisburg on the train. And so Lancaster just rules because people show up, and I love that.
That's great. Thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with me about what you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. If you have workplace flexibility and can work from anywhere, you probably know how lonely it can get working all day, every day in the same building where you sleep, i.e. your house. TCF Co-working and Social Club in Lancaster is the solution. Get out of the house, work around other humans in real life, and get social with a ton of clubs, activities, and events. TCF offers community, full-time, and private office memberships and day passes if you're just passing through town. Check out clubtcf.com, book a tour, and get plugged in. This is Jason Mundok from So Good Lancaster. We're having some conversations with vendors who participated in the second annual Stuff to Do Fair at Washington Elementary in Lancaster City on January the 31st of 2026. Over 50 vendors set up tables in the gymnasium at Washington Elementary to share the stuff that they do and the stuff that you can do with them. Comedy, improv comedy, stand-up comedy, live music venues, somewhere you can go and learn how to play music, dance classes, a bird watching club. Not only are the vendors set up around the gymnasium to share what they do, but there's also live demonstrations that have been happening all day long. About every 10 minutes, a new organization is demonstrating some of the stuff that they do. So it's an amazing place to get out and learn what there is to do in Lancaster and Lancaster County.
Hi, my name is Lola. I'm the owner of Hypnotic Pole Fitness.
Tell me about Hypnotic Pole Fitness.
Well, Hypnotic Pole Fitness is a community of people who love to do pole dance, lyra, and sensual dance. We are all about empowerment and helping people express themselves.
So if I was interested in engaging with your services, say I'm new to the area and I find out about it, tell me what that experience is like.
Well, you would sign up for an introductory workshop. We have intro to pole and intro to lyra, our first steps into the studio, and you experience the studio culture. You experience how to do introductory spins and climbs and kind of get a flavor of what aerial arts are.
Do you need some kind of experience to engage, or can I have no experience at all?
Absolutely no experience is required. I actually started 4 years ago with my movement journey. I had no ballet or gymnastics background.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely none. I could not dance. I was the wacky waving inflatable arm tube man. Okay, that was me. And after just consistently coming to classes, I learned how to dance and I learned how to do tricks, and I just became so much more confident.
So you went from literally nothing to owning this studio in just less than 4 years.
In less than 4 years. I started just coming, taking classes as soon as I moved here, and then my second year I became an instructor, and then last year I bought the studio.
Oh, congratulations. How long has the studio been around?
So Studio Spin has been, was with the studio before Hypnotic Pole Fitness, and it was open in 2013.
Okay.
And so now I did a whole rebrand and founded Hypnotic Pole Fitness, but we really are still about that whole confidence, that whole strength, making people feel empowered and badass.
Yeah, love it. A lot of opportunities for classes. How often do you do them?
So we have classes Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and starting next month, Fridays as well. We're adding yoga.
Okay.
Because, we're all about people being embodied, meditation. And so you can do yoga and also flying pole as well. So
Flying pole.
yeah,
Tell me about flying pole real quick.
So people think about pole, they think about the pole that goes up and is
Right, it's a
attached
vertical
to the
pole.
Yeah, attached to the ground. So a flying pole is for the adventure seekers who want to perhaps spin while climbing the pole. And so this is also introductory flying pole for beginners on Friday, so people can just experience a bit of a more wild apparatus. I think it's a lot of fun.
That's incredible. Tell me one thing that you think makes Lancaster so good.
Lancaster is so good because of how diverse and inclusive it is. You feel welcome every building that you walk into. People are just actually so kind, and this community has been such a wonderful place to found my first business.
That's awesome. Thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with me about it.
Thank you, Jason.
My name's JW Spurlock. I'm here with Lancaster Square Dance. I am Danny Mulligan. I'm here with Danny and the Do-Overs.
Tell me what you guys are representing today. What's the stuff that you have to do?
Well, if you were here seeing me in person, I'm holding a banjo. And this to me is emblematic of our commitment to traditional square dance, but it's a square dance for our time. So we...
When does this happen? When can I come and square dance with you?
Every fourth Tuesday at West Art. West Art right across from F&M and the North Museum. We're going to be there once a month. It's an extension of the Old Time Jam, which I'll let Danny talk about a little bit here. The Old Time Jam happens every Tuesday night. It is the first, second, and third Tuesday of the month, and if there is a fifth Tuesday, we do that then too. Fourth Tuesdays are the square dance, obviously, but the Old Time Jam, we just sit in a circle and play old time tunes. That's fiddles, banjos, guitars, mandolins. If you're playing fiddle tunes, we'll welcome almost any instrument.
How does someone get involved with that? Do they just show up?
Yeah, they could just show up. They could also follow Danny and the Do-Overs on Instagram. We also host a monthly honky tonk also at West Art. That's two-step line dancing. You could think of like 80s, 90s, 2000s country music. And we teach all of that dancing as well, also to a live band.
That's really amazing. Tell me one thing, JW, that you think makes Lancaster so good.
It's easy to meet people and continue meeting people. I feel like I have met maybe the same person over and over again, and there's this understanding that there's a lot to do. There's a lot of people to do things with, and so it's no shame in forgetting someone's name because you're going to meet a lot of people over and over again.
How about you, Danny?
I think community is one of the coolest things about Lancaster. A lot of the things that we do musically are community-based. You don't have to know anybody to show up to any of these dances. You don't have to know any of the moves. If you show up, you're going to, A, learn something, and B, meet somebody. And you're moving your body and you're doing a real thing with real people. It feels really good.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys, for taking a few minutes to talk to me about what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
I'm Jess King. I'm the Executive Director of the Lancaster County Local Journalism Fund.
And tell me what you're representing here today at the Stuff to Do Fair.
Yeah, well, we're representing basically three things. One is obviously local news as a public good that deserves philanthropic support. It has a broken business model, but it's necessary for our community's health. It's mentioned in our Constitution, and we need to find ways to sustain it. So we fund that. We're also funding this fair, and we're funding Savannah to do more of these in Lancaster County to show what civic engagement can look like in so many different ways. And we're funding Community Connection through something we started called Lancaster County in Common. That's a working group, a very open working group, open to people joining us who believe that we have more in common than we don't, and that some core things we're trying to do with that are to elevate the stories of people who are weaving trust in Lancaster, to provide tools and resources for people who are interested in this, to create spaces for people to come together and realize that we have more in common than we don't.
I love this idea. We need this in this country. People say all the time, what can I do in times of trouble? What can I do when I feel like things are kind of spinning out of control? This is something we can do here.
It is. Locally
with our neighbors. And I think that's critical. One of the things you have here at the Stuff to Do Fair is a deck of cards called Covered Bridging.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Shout out to Lancaster County having all our covered bridges. But the idea that bridging is a thing that we do, we can do it, with people we have in common, but we can also bridge differences. Covered bridging is this idea of playing on a, Lancaster County thing that is about supporting that in some way, creating some structure, some support for people to do things that they might think are scary and that they might think are like really, the narratives you see if you're on social media or reading national news are that we can't find anything to agree on. And so this is a deck of cards, literal deck of cards, 52 cards with questions on every card that use Lancaster County as the common denominator to say,
Nice.
What are some things that we could start talking about that have Lancaster in common? So again, going hyper-local and saying if you're talking to your neighbor, literally your neighbor or somebody you're having a family dinner with that you might not see anything else eye to eye except maybe place, how could you use this to start a conversation and start building some of these things? Like, I think we sometimes think that bridges need to be these big superstructures, like between us, metaphorically, that we need to bridge huge differences. But sometimes they just need to be small, nimble threads. And a little question about what we have in common can help do that.
I love it. Can you tell me one thing that you think makes Lancaster so good?
Oh, how do you do one? I think the fact that we're all here on a ridiculously cold day in a elementary school gym, having a fair about all the crazy things you can do in Lancaster is so, so good.
Big thanks to Jasmine, Luke, Shannon, Lola, Danny, JW, and Jess for stopping by the So Good Lancaster and Candy Factory table at the Stuff to Do Fair to share some of the awesome stuff there is to do right here in Lancaster. And be sure to check out the previous episode of the show for more from the Stuff to Do Fair 2026. Hey goodies, we do love hearing from you. Let us know what you think of today's episode, or if you have any fun ideas for upcoming shows, you can head over to sogoodlancaster.com and submit your comments. Until we meet again, stay good, Lancaster. Stay good. So Good Lancaster is produced at So Good Media in Lancaster, Pennsylvania by yours truly and Ann Kirby. Follow us online at sogoodlancaster.com and follow us on all of the socials. Have any comments, questions, or want to learn more about how So Good Media can help you with your podcast and media productions? Drop us a line at hello@sogoodmedia.studio.